First, I like to say thanks to that lady who tells us it's being recorded every time because without her, we wouldn't know.
There was a time
After
that
time.
many of those different time after times that they didn't have that, and I think it became a security thing. Actually, COVID. Remember, there's that big update. Because everybody's on calls now, so it's like you gotta have this sense of privacy, and you gotta warn people. I know Teams now puts that banner up that you have to hit dismiss, but
Oh, really?
yeah, you don't use Teams though, do you? You're a Skype boy, little Skype
Yeah,
boy.
Skypes, dude, not Teams.
We like to Zoom on blocks on blocks. Speaking of which, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Beeson Wilkes here, along with, as always, Mr. Joshua Shapiro to Blocks on Blocks. If this is your first time listening, we do talk about a lot and a little. I don't know what, it depends on what episode it is. We talk about cars, we talk about grass, talk about, of course, our adult fanism of Lego. And every once in a while, we are very blessed
Oh, yeah.
to have special guests. And to keep it brief, a couple big bullet points, because spoiler alert, yes, we do have a guest, but we didn't expect this podcast to grow in such a way. We banter, we talk about how proud and surprised and elated we are. I'm doing great. I want to kick it off, but Josh, how are you, sir? And I want to get straight into our guest speaker.
Yeah, no, of course. I am well, man. I've had one of the best weekends that I've probably had in a while. So I was feeling top notch. 10 out of 10, dude. Great weekend. I couldn't have asked for a nicer one. Minus the 32-degree weather we had yesterday in the morning. Definitely could have lived without that. Other
We may
than
have a
that,
white Christmas.
you think it's going to snow?
I think here in Atlanta, we may have a white Christmas. Apparently, there's some snow on the old
On the
calendar for.
radar? The
Yeah,
radar?
I think that's how it's pronounced. Things are pronounced differently all around the world. And I want that's my segue in my transition to start talking to
I like
our
it.
new guest,
It
Mr.
works.
Kyle Watt. And Kyle, how are you, sir? Welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome, Kyle.
I'm very well, thanks, guys. That's a very smooth transition there.
They call me the transition magician. Sometimes I just, see a segue and I push forward and roll right into it. No,
I'll just say I've known him for 10 years and never heard anybody call him that, but I like it.
my real dad. Kyle sometimes potentially may be my real dad, but sir, how are you? You got a beautiful setup behind you. Tell us about you. I mean, keep
Yeah.
it vague for a moment. We'll drill into some specifics.
Thanks, guys. Basically, this setup's quite new. It's only probably about 6 months old because I moved house mid-lockdown in the UK.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a pretty stressful time. A lot of it was like, didn't know whether my house move was going to go through as well, because this is like the first house I bought as well on my own.
Congrats.
So it's nice to have a lot more space for I call it New Stud City.
Nice. Okay, I like it.
So New Stud City. I don't have an official name for my city, which is something I need to get on. So New Stud City. And for those that are listening in, let me give a quick description here. We got a main street. I'm going to give it a main boulevard. It looks like we've got the Cinema Palace, beautiful, beautiful sets. And then where did you get the Statue of Liberty? What is that? A mock or is that a set?
No, I wish I was that talented. That was a Lego architecture set.
I didn't even think. I didn't know it was available, but I didn't. That's
Really,
brilliant.
you've never seen that? Yeah, no. I will say I like how he incorporated it into the town because I've not ever actually seen that done before.
Yeah. Is it sitting directly on top of your palace? Is that how you have it set up?
It is. I've got a few bricks just to keep it on there from like sliding off.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's pretty much just perched on the roof.
It works perfect with the color scheme. Sorry, that kind of got me distracted. But so yeah, 6 months ago, bought your first home. Congratulations! You got this new setup, a lot of new space. Your city behind you is looking quite built out. Yeah, tell me more about it. Tell us more about it.
Well, it started as you can probably imagine, it was just Stud City before. Then obviously, since moving, it's become New Stud City.
That's awesome.
It's fitting of the Statue of Liberty in New Stud City, right? So it all plays well. It's a continuous story.
Yeah. I kind of always loved Lego, like since I was a kid. Always found it really interesting. And like me and my sister, like she's a bit younger than me. We always used to build like Lego cities as well when we were little, and I'd sort of like obviously make like these really nice houses and stuff for like my little Lego people. And then you'd sort of like go down the street a bit, and then it'd be her Lego houses, and she'd get upset with me and be like, "Oh, look, my end of town's really rubbish, and like my people aren't happy living here and stuff."
Oh man.
So
It's like the Duplo Lego movie and the Duplos. I think they're all just hated on because it's not as pretty. It's hilarious.
oh my God.
I think during that part of the Lego movie, I was just definitely like, yeah, totally recognized and empathized with that.
It's crazy how you can directly relate to that stuff. So I want to inject and ask you a question. So going back to your childhood and having a big fandom and in-depth childhood of Lego, what was your first Lego set, if you can recall? To kind of date you, I'm kind of curious on where.
Well, I was born in 1986, and I probably had some Duplo knocking about, but I don't remember what that was. But I do remember getting really, really into Lego around the time that like the surfboard sets came out. So it was like you had these little beach shacks with guys like on surfboards and sort of like parasurfing as well. And I really remember getting like a Lego set where it was like a yellow base plate, and then it was like a surfboard shop outside, and they had them all stacked on top of each other.
Sick.
So that is also reminds me of a dune buggy around that same period of time. I think it was a dune buggy that had a surfboard on top, but the cool thing about it is it had the suspension that would articulate. It was a sprung Lego city. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Gosh, that piece sticks out. That sprung axle for Lego City back in the early mid 90s is just iconic. They need to bring that back. I have a thing I want to talk about and reference that. But yes, carry on. What other Lego sets do you remember that kind of stick out to you?
I used to flip between having my city and then having to sort of like use all the bricks that I had used on like houses and stuff to then like build stuff, because I was really into Star Wars as a kid. Nice. But then obviously when we were kids, you didn't have Star Wars Lego. So I had the Ice Planet base, not Hoth, then it had like the guys with the white helmets and the orange visors.
Oh yeah.
And I think they were one of the first.
Reason just can't get into Star Wars. I don't know what it is.
Is it a Star Wars set that you're referring to, or did you imagine that it was Star Wars?
Basically, I got into the space sets because of Star Wars.
Oh, now I was a Blacktron, Megatron, Space Police, I think Series 2 or Generation 2, I believe. So I do have a lot of familiarity, especially with the green and black ones. I loved them. I thought they were great. Yeah. Never got me into Star Wars, unfortunately. I wish it did.
I used to use
I was huge into Star Wars.
Man.
Still am.
Anyway,
did you ever get like the did you ever get like the minifigure that just had a black face and then pretend that was Darth Vader?
No, but I remember the dark face because I had a helmet that you put over it with some okay, I do know what you're talking about. I never drew it, but no, I can appreciate the thought.